What's up, guys? It's your boy Matt here with another episode of Matter of Fact MMA. So we're coming to you a few days removed after UFC 284, where Alexander Volkanovski actually went up in weight to challenge the 155-pound champion Islam Makhachev. So now we're just going to get into it. I just got a few takes on it. And we're also going to address a couple of rumors on the back end. So the way that I see it, when I look at everything over the internet, as far as the fans, as far as MMA journalism, a lot of people on YouTube and everything, the way that I see it is Alexander Volkanovski went in there. He was outsized. He was a smaller man, but he put on a good fight, put on a good show. He had Makhachev in trouble at the end of the fifth round. He caught Makhachev a few times with a few clean shots. I think he really surprised everybody with his wrestling and his defensive wrestling against Islam Makhachev. Now, personally, I had Makhachev winning. I had him winning 3-2, maybe 4-1. But, that was how I saw the fight. But what I've seen since is a lot of people are coming out and they're in favor of Alexander because, look, he's a likable guy. He's the pound-for-pound GOAT, especially as far as featherweight at this moment. Personally, I feel Jose Aldo is the GOAT, but that's a whole other topic for a whole other day. Nevertheless, Volk went in there. He proved a lot of naysayers wrong. But at the end of the day, I feel like Islam took the fight. Now, since then, I believe because Alexander's such a likable guy, he's such a fan favorite, and he had everything against him being the smaller man, that a lot of people are really leaning too hard on Volk dominated the fight. Volk won, more than, easily 4 rounds against Islam. I heard that as one take, but definitely 3-2 for Volk. I get it. I know he's a likable guy. I know everybody likes him. I get what everybody's saying. And people don't want to give Islam the credit as being the pound-for-pound best at the moment, considering he did beat Volk. And in my opinion, because he beat Volk, regardless of however you feel, however you might have scored it, you could definitely see 3-2 Islam. So I feel like if Islam won the fight, you got to give Islam that pound-for-pound spot at the moment, at least until John Jones makes his return or a few other people. You got to give him that at the moment because the whole point was Volk was going up to see who is pound for pound the best at the moment. He was challenging for the 155 belt and he lost. He lost. He didn't win the lightweight title. He lost. So with that being said, you have to give Islam the nod and say he's the pound for pound guy right now. Now, overall, looking at the fight, I feel like I said, I scored it for Islam 3-2, but I feel like this fight was a little bit too soon for Islam. I feel like there were moments in the fight where you could see that Islam kind of had this 1,000-yard stare, more so in the late part of the fifth round, where I almost felt like at different times you could see Islam and things didn't quite feel as comfortable to him. Of course, anytime anyone scores anything on him, it's probably not comfortable to him because he's such a good fighter. But I felt like he wasn't comfortable a lot of moments in this fight, which leads me to believe that this fight might have been a little bit too early, a little bit too soon for Islam. I think he should have got 1 to 2 more title defenses under his belt, at least 2 probably. Give him a chance to get accustomed, get comfortable with being the champion, going out there, doing his thing. His first fight without Khabib in his corner in a long time. So I think that was also a major deal that he didn't have, his coach that he really looks up to. I mean, another one of the pound for pound greats. So I felt like this was a little bit too soon for him, but I still think he's got that true champion's pedigree. He rose to the occasion and he got the win. Hats off to Alexander. Hats off to Volko. You got to give it to him. The man went in there. He was outsized. Some people might have believed he was outgunned. And he put on a heck of a show. But at the end of the day, Islam gets the nod. That's just what it is. I think people got to give that to him. Now, as far as the accusations after, Dan Hooker, who was also a part of City Kickboxing along with Volk, he actually came out with, some opinions on Twitter that he feels like, and they have proof that Islam might have used an illegal IV after, basically to replenish his weight after the the weight cut and the weigh-ins. Obviously, he had a horrible weight cut. It was a rough weigh-in for him. They believe that he used a nurse there in Perth, I believe, to be able to get an illegal IV, basically to replenish everything in his body. I don't know if that's true. I'm hearing rumblings of there's going to be an investigation by USADA, in Islam Makhachev's, I guess I could say camp, even though it's just the day of the weigh-ins and the day after. But nevertheless, they're going to look into it. I don't know what's going to come out of that. I mean, I've been watching, MMA for so long, as you can see. I don't know if you can tell. I got a little bit of GSP action in the background, but nevertheless, I've been watching for so long. Nothing shocks me when it comes to fighters cheating. However, I will say I'm not calling Islam a cheat. I don't know. I will say I've always found Dan Hooker to be kind of lame, just personally. I mean, tough fighter, tough guy, but I feel like he's an emotional guy. And I think he kind of jumps out on the limb a lot of the times, especially over his defending of his teammates like Izzy and Volk. But nevertheless, I guess we'll find out what's going to come out of that. I just wanted to drop in and let you guys know, in my opinion, here on Matter of Fact, where you need to prove, is it Matt or is it fact? How do you see it? I feel like Islam Makhachev won that fight 3-2. I feel like Volk is a hell of a fighter. There's an argument for how you view pound for pound, where if you say that if Volk was the same size as Islam, he would have won that fight. Or is it just pound for pound who won? I believe it's who won that fight that night. And I believe that Islam was the better man that night. I don't know if he'll be the better man overall in their entire, both of them's career, considering that Volk has he's just got a better roster of guys he's beat, straight up, compared to Islam. But nevertheless, Islam went there, did his thing. It's great. We'll see how everything turns out. So you guys let me know. Please subscribe. Please drop your comments. Please email me. Reach out to me. You see me on the street, throw something at me. Say, hey, Matt, I ain't believe you, bro. I ain't like what you were saying. Go ahead and let me know, man. It's cool. If you agree, if you disagree, please comment. Let me know how you felt about this. That's the whole point of this channel. Is it Matt or is it fact? You prove me wrong. Thanks a lot, guys. Peace.